Hello YouTube, this is Ken. I'm Kevin. It's time again for a pocket dump deconstruction. It's the daily pocket dump deconstruction because every single day, we take a look at my EDC. And in this case, that's the EDC, my everyday carry. I'm stuffing my pockets with that stuff. I put it all together. I take a picture for Instagram. My Instagram is at KeithKevinKen, just like I did for this one. I posted it 6 minutes ago, turned my iPhone 6S Plus from photo to video, and now it's time for the Keith Kevin Ken YouTube channel to do the deconstruction, just to take apart this pocket dump, and we're going to do that. Today's Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and I can't believe it. It's chilly on the east coast of the US of A. It's like in the 50s, overcast, gloomy, just ugly. We were just playing in the 80s and the 70s not too long ago. Anyway, for a couple of days it'll be chilly, and then it'll be back up into the 70s. But I'm smiling, I'm happy, and I'll tell you why. The three knives that are my carry, they're a little out of order, and I'll tell you why, but they're all my new knives from the mail call that I got yesterday. Yep, new, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. But first, let's talk about the rest of the stuff. My watch is, it's one of my favorites. You guys have seen it. It's the Concord Impresario. It's just a wonderful chronograph. I really like it. Nice automatic knife. Whenever I say automatic, I've been playing with knives throughout the night. And so I meant a nice, as you guys know, automatic watch. Celebrating the day. Always celebrate the day. Even the cold, gloomy ones. I'm going to celebrate this Thursday after work with this wonderful Romeo and Julieta short Churchill. Oh, what a wonderful Cuban cigar. My mouth watered. It did. The coin, my lucky silver 1 ounce coin today, comes from the U.S. Mint. I believe it was in celebration, of the Smithsonian in 2001. What they did was they put out a 2-coin set, 2 1 ounce silver coins that look like the buffalo nickel. You see that with the Indian head, and then there's a buffalo on the back of it. If you can see that. This, of course, is a proof coin. That's why I always give it shade. But that's going to be my lucky coin for today. I'm drinking blended scotch today. And this is one of my Mont Blanc skinny wallets. Let me move this a little. We do have knives, but I have to tell you, they aren't really the knives that got away. None of them. Because as soon as I picked up these 3 knives yesterday, as soon as they came into the mail and I picked them up at the front desk, I was determined to carry them today. No matter what. Even if sometimes it's a little difficult, and we'll get into that. Here's my Coach notepad with that special Coach paper. Psych. I ordered that paper to look like the old Coach paper. After 15, 16 years, I finally ran out of my stack of Coach paper that I bought. I just bought all the Coach paper that was available because I knew I would run out. And then I made my own. And I'm not selling it, so Coach, please don't try to sue me. It's just for personal use. So let's go over these knives. This is the brand new, just released Spyderco Lil Lum. The Lil Lum takes after the much bigger knives from Bob Lum. They're called the Chinese folders. They used to. This is just called the Lil Lum. These were the Chinese folders. This is a sprint run. It's the only other Chinese folder that I have. But what Spyderco did was they released, pretend this isn't a sprint run. I'll talk about this knife a little later, the specialty of it. But they released a medium. At that time, it was the smaller one because we didn't know this one was in the files. Lum Chinese folder. This is the medium. They have a larger one that goes out about yay big. I haven't bought it. I haven't really felt the need to buy it. I've been thinking about buying it once Eric Glasser announced that the Lil Lum was on the way, just to have the set, and I probably will at some point. I just haven't seen them at the right prices. But this is the medium size of the medium Lum. This is the Lil Lum. This is a sprint run Lum because it has the Precision scales. But you can see how small it is? Now the Lil Lum has a bigger belly. Now as Eric told the story on the SHOT Show 2016 video, they wanted to celebrate the really great knife maker Bob Lum, who passed away. Bob Lum has worked with Spyderco on a number of knives, and wonderful knives at that. And so they went back into the files and they wanted to make the Lil Lum. He had designed a little Chinese folder when he designed the other two, the big and the medium size one. But they decided at that time not to go with the eeny beeny one. But they wanted to do it. When they went into production, they couldn't find all of the papers, so they went into production and discovered that the belly that they thought it was going to be in production was a little bit fatter than the original. And you can see that the belly comes out a little bit more than that. I kind of like that. I like knives that have those big bellies, especially slicers like this one, because you can really get at it. You don't have to use the tip. I like it. So let's talk about the new Lil Lum, Lil Lum. Like I said, it's from Bob Lum, the Japanese knife maker. This is the Chinese folder. VG10 steel on this one. It is really, really, really tiny. It really is. 2.4-inch blade. It has a G10, black G10 scales, a nice see-through construction, easy to clean. We'll talk about that clip because I hate it. I just can't get over it. I can't get over the clip. Anyway, it's a very nice and light knife. I really like it. The overall length is about 5.3 inches. Let me see here. So I have the Dragonfly 2. So this is the Dragonfly 2. You can see the Dragonfly 2 is a little longer because the handle is longer. But that blade of the Dragonfly is a little smaller. The blade is a 2.3-inch blade. Bob Lum is 2.4-inch. But you can kind of see it's about like a Dragonfly. That's a small knife. I love my Dragonflies. It's a very popular knife. Again, the Dragonfly has a choil. This one doesn't. So it is a really small knife. It really is. I think I've said in the past that I would have loved, the Dragonfly is one of those that make me scratch my head because it could really be a keychain knife. It's bigger, or it could be a medium-sized knife, and usually I use it as a medium-sized knife. Now, let's talk about the Lum. Today, I am actually using the Lum, the Lil Lum, as a keychain knife, and I'll tell you why. My medium knife usually is the keychain knife, but that's a custom, and we'll get into why it was a little. I was going to carry these 3 knives a day no matter what. I really like the Lil Lum. I've told you guys in the past, I like little gentleman folders. I do. I have cases full of them. I just love them. Whether they're from Chris Reeve, Spyderco, or any other maker, I just really love these small knives. They're nice in the pocket. Here's my problem. Look at that ugly clip. That big, gigantic stainless steel clip. By the way, this does have stainless steel liners. It's real easy to get to the liner lock, but that clip has just been bugging me. I don't get the choice. The clip feels heavier than the entire knife. It's big, it's clunky. I mean, it takes 3 bolts to put it in. It's kind of their classic clip. I don't get it. And Spyderco has been so much better. You know, usually I'm the guy, I'm a little older, kind of even tempered. It's a knife. If it doesn't flip, I go, just flip your wrist. But I just don't get it. Yes, I love the wire clips. I do. I think they're light. I think they work great on the pocket and all of that. Why not the wire clip? I don't get it. Again, same size as the Dragonfly. So maybe it's because it's a little heavier because the Dragonfly doesn't have liners on the FRN scales. Yeah, I can almost believe that, except, hey buddies, here's the cat. It's the Spyderco cat. Okay, pretty much the same length. The Spyderco cat's blade is, what is it? Hold on one second. It's 2.5 inches. So the blade is just a little bit bigger. This is a 2.4 inch blade, remember? This doesn't have that lum shape with the belly. It has a more traditional Spyderco shape, but still, it's thicker, right? It's even wider than Spyderco, than the Lil Lum, but pretty much the same size, right? Yeah, they have the same stainless full liners. Look, it has a clip. And by the way, this is an older knife. Right now, the cat, by the way, you guys should look at the cat. It's a wonderful little knife. It really is. If you like little knives, it's a wonderful knife. Now, I got this years ago, and the steel was 440 steel, 440C steel. They are now selling them with CTS BD1 steel, a great steel. So if you want the CTS BD1 steel. But this is the cat. It is a smaller knife, but exactly a little bit bigger, a little eensy bit bigger than the Lil Lum. It's heavier, a little heavier because it's fatter. And even back then, the first version of the cat, they had the wire clip. Why not a wire clip? I don't get it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't get it. It bugs the heck out of me, and I'm gonna take off the clip at some point. You know, I hate messing with knives. I love to see other people mess with them. I don't. Just to rub it in a little more. Now, this is the little Chicago. This was created by Spyderco to meet the needs of the Chicago, to make it legal in Chicago, way under the 3-inch. Way under the 3-inch. This is actually a 2-inch. But I'm just saying, here's the clip. Why not a clip on this? I don't get it. Other than that, and that's why I'm using it as a, I'm just going to put it on my keychain. My keys are usually in a separate pocket from the 2 other knives that I carry. So I'll do that because I want to carry it. I've been talking about it. I love it. So everything is great about the Lil Lum except that ugly heavy clip. Don't get the choice. That one I don't get. Just put the wire clip on. It's not like the wire clip is hard to get. They're putting the wire clip on everything, including this big knife. So I don't get it, but we'll talk about that later. I'll take a deep breath. I'm happy to have the Lil Lum as part of my collection. I'm very happy to have it, but I hate the clip. I told you guys a while ago, I was carrying this. This is the Microtech UTX-70. Both of these are, except there are some differences. I told you I'm falling in love with these little knives. I use this as a keychain knife. I put it right through there. This is not my keychain knife, and I'll talk about why when I talk about this knife. But, man, I told you I had seen a knife that had a lot of things that I liked, and I almost pulled the trigger, and then I did. I just pulled it. This is a custom knife from Microtech. This is a custom UTX-70. Same size and everything, except there's a couple of custom flares to it. Some of them you know already, right? Same aluminum, it's black aluminum, but all the hardware is blue. Blue, 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 blue. Of course, that's the that's the Marfione, who, whenever you know it's a custom Microtech, you see the Marfione dagger. So this is a custom UTX 70. I love the blued Damascus blade. So just a UTX with Damascus blade is good enough for me. But this one has blue. It's just, I love it. The birth date on the clip, they always have the birth date on the clip. And on this clip, the birthday is April 2016. It was created this month, which is great. It is number 32. So I have number 32. So at least there are 32 out there. But really nice. Yes, it's a little knife, but I love it. Especially with the Damascus. And you know, I love that Tanto blade. So you give me Damascus, you give me a blue Damascus, you give me a Tanto blade. Oh, all the blue hardware on that aluminum, and it's limited edition. I really love it. Now, the reason I don't have it as my keychain knife today, if you look at this one, I use this little lanyard hole for my loop for the keychain. And I actually have a fatter silver keychain loop on my 3 keys, and I use a thinner one as well because sometimes I need a thinner one for some of these knives. Well, on the regular production UTX-70, the glass breakers are just symbols of glass breakers. They're flat. I don't know if you can even see it. Am I too close? So they're flat. And so it makes room for me to get to that lanyard hole and stick in my silver loop. Well, the other part of this custom, and it's for design, I don't think I'll be using this to break glass on this real small knife. By the way, I'm talking about the UTX-70. It's 70 because it's 70% of Microtech's Ultratech, one of their best-selling knives. You guys have seen me carry it. In fact, I have a Microtech out the front knife collection video on this channel, so go check it out. It shows you all of my Microtech out the fronts, except this one because I just got it last night. But I will be making a separate video on this knife. I will be making a separate video on the Lil Lum, and I'll be making a separate video on the big knife I'm going to talk to you about. This UTX, though, is a smaller knife out the front. But what he added on the custom is 2 glass breakers. And real functional glass breakers, the ones with the pointy edge, they're little. You see them? And they're blue, which I love. I just love it because it does add to the design. I mean, this is not a heavy use knife. These are very small, very thin out the fronts, double action out the fronts. But this is beautiful. It's like jewelry. Yes, they cut. You can cut with these knives. But it's that's why I like them as a keychain knife. By the way, any out the front is scary to anyone, no matter how small it is. This is small. People still jump sometimes when I pull it out, but then they love to play with it. And I love the blue Damascus. This is the custom blue Damascus Tanto blade. You can get a Tanto in the regular one. Blue Damascus blade, blue hardware. And I just love double glass breaker. Of course, you can't get to that hole that's in the center. I don't know even if you can see it. So I tried. It was hard to get to. So instead, what I'm going to do I'm going to use this as my keychain knife, and I'm going to put that in one of my Chris Reeve leather pouches. But oh man, I really love my UTX-70, and I love the custom one. It's just purty as purty can be. And then the last brand new knife from Spyderco has quickly become a favorite of mine. And that's one reason. This is the brand new Spyderco Pattada. Whoops, brand new. Just came out, just released with the Lil Lum. I told you this is going to be an epic year for Spyderco. They're celebrating their 40th anniversary. They have a bunch of knives. The new Pattada is their new knife entry into their ethnic series. I love the ethnic series. I'm going to have to do a collection video when I get the time. There's a lot of knives over the years that they have put into the ethnic series. Here's how the ethnic series goes. They look at knives from around the world, traditional knives from around the world. They take the traditional knives from that specific area, and then they make a folding knife out of that traditional knife with all of the high-tech materials of the time when they created. And in this case, this is the Pattada. It is the traditional knife from, I want to say, I'm going to pronounce it Sardinia, but you guys know my pronunciation. It's an island, it's an Italian island in the Mediterranean by Italy. It's an Italian island. And they have a knife called the Pattada, and it looks like this. The shape is like this. A thin handle with that long blade, with that little belly to it. You see the belly, and then it goes up to a very, very nice point at the end. Flat ground. Well, Sal took this on, the owner of Spyderco. I really love the traditional ones because first, you get these unique shapes that you couldn't even think of. They're shapes that were made over by the use of the indigenous folks for centuries. You get these great older knife makers to put together a modern knife, and they do a great job. Now here, let's talk about this knife. It's a biggie. You compare this to the Endura, and you can see that it's pretty much the same shape of the Endura. But the blade is thinner. The handle is thinner. The blade is thinner as well, and of course that unique Pattada shape. But it's a bigger knife. It's like the Endura 4. Now, the Pattada has a 3.9-inch blade, and this blade is N690 steel. That's an Italian steel, which made sense. It was produced out of Italy, which also made sense. It's an Italian island. The full length is 8.7 inches. So it is a big knife. But here's why I've been falling in love. First, whenever I get a new knife, and of course, mostly when I get a knife and it has a liner lock. Now, I've already trained myself not to do it. I unlock it and I tap it. Well, I tapped this thing and it almost hit my finger. This is right out the box. See that? Right out the box, folks. Smooth as silk. Perfect lineup with this big blade. Oh, it's so smooth. The detent is wonderful. Everything is nice. The lockup is perfect. People like early, and I've got knives early. I like when the lock is truly engaged, but it's still early. So the lock is all on the blade. See, none hanging off over here. Perfect lockup. This handle is G10. It's 3D molded G10. Let me just tell you something. This is the best G10 I've ever felt. And I'm not exaggerating. It's just beautiful, smooth. I posted pictures on my Instagram at Keith Kevin Ken late last night, and there was a comment where someone said, I handled the Pattada and I just fell in love with the G10. I fell in love with this G10. I didn't know you could do that to G10. It is just wonderful. What Sal also did with this is they are full liners, and usually when you get full stainless liners on a big knife, they are skeletonized out of this world. You know, they carve out parts of it to ease the weight. Here, there's two circles on this liner, circle on this one, holes in the liner. Hole in the liner here, hole in the liner there. The rest of it is solid stainless steel. And you want to know something? Man, it gives a great weight. Does not feel heavy at all. Oh, man, I really love this. So you've got that 3D carved G10. It makes it feel good. Then you've got my metal clip. Yeah, it's tip-up carry on either side. You can move it to either side. And yes, on this big, long knife, they have a clip. On that little eeny-beeny one, they have that steel monstrosity. Anyway, and so you have all of that. Look at the guard. This is traditional. You see the guard right there? Then you have the pull right here. The original one, they had fixed blades that had this shape and looked like this. And they also had friction folders. No locking folders. Friction folders as well. And they did everything. Hunted, protected themselves, did whatever with their knives. I really like this knife. The steel's great, the Italian steel, but also it's very functional because of that interesting shape with the belly. It's real functional. You can do some great slicing with it. And also with that tip. It's not a little thin tip either. You know, it can also be very tactical as well. And yes, if you got long enough pockets, if you can handle an Endura, then you can handle the Pattada. And the Pattada actually even takes up less pocket space width-wise. I really like it. Hey, some people don't get into the ethnic series stuff. They go, oh, look at these weird knives, whatever. I love it because I love the variety of the shape. But this is a usable EDC knife. It's beautiful. It feels great. It has a wonderful clip. It has a long blade. Great for slicing. Great for doing work. And then a tip if you want to get tactical with it. I really like the Pattada. The brand new Spyderco Pattada. It comes from Italy, an island off of Italy. It's part of the Spyderco Ethnic series. I'm going to do a video individually on this one, and I'll include a lot of other ethnic ones. I'll do it on my UTX-70, and I'll do it on the Lil Lum, but I wanted to carry them today, and I definitely wanted the crew here on the Keith Kevin Ken YouTube channel to get a first peek. Hey, you guys, I appreciate you. Don't forget to thumb up if you like this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're working our way to 500 subscribers, and at 500 subscribers, we're going to celebrate taking apart one of my most expensive Pelican 1550 cases and going through the knives. I appreciate you guys. You have a perfect day. Really have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.